What's up, my schnarfled up doopledoppers? How you doing today? It's Chris here, and we are going to talk about the new upcoming balance changes to BTD battles. I'm actually really excited about this. All of these changes seem like they're very good changes. Nothing crazy is happening. No balloon busting crazy nerfs or buffs or anything like that. They're all minor stuff because I feel like the game is pretty reasonably fair at this point. But there's a couple towers that just seem a little bit too good, and there's a couple towers that we just don't really see all that often. So today I'm not going to be playing any games because the update is not officially launched yet. At least when I'm making this video, it's not launched yet. So all I'm going to do is just talk about the upgrades, and I want you guys to tell me what you think about them, if you think they suck or if they're good or what. So, Ninja Monkey, alright. So, I've been talking about a Ninja Monkey nerf for a while now, and I'm glad they're finally doing it, but they're not doing anything as crazy as I expected. I was expecting the 2-4 to get nerfed, maybe even the 4-2 to get nerfed, but they didn't do that. They're just going to nerf the 3-0. That's it. So, from $550 to $700. It's only $150. Now, this might not seem like a big deal, but I think it's going to be a lot harder to afford that third-tier ninja while still farming. And that's going to stop a lot of people from over-farming in the early game and making Ninja Mortar so darn powerful. So, it's still going to be able to pop blues and pinks and stuff like that, but by the time you get to round 3, you're definitely going to have to pop a mortar in there just to pop the rest of these balloons. So Ninja Mortar is still going to be viable, by the way, but it's going to make it a little bit worse. I also love that Ninja Kiwi tells us why they're making these changes. I really freaking appreciate this. Thank you, Ninja Kiwi. And they're very... They basically, like, take the words out of my mouth in a lot of situations. Ninja's Double Shot upgrade is a little too valuable at the low cost, holding off these early spaced pink and black rushes. The price change should help make the tower more balanced overall. Absolutely perfect, man. I'm still down for a 4th tier left-sided slight nerf. You know, I think it's still a little bit too powerful, but that's just me talking. Alright, Mortar Tower, man. So here we go. This is a really nice change right here. Signal Flare increased from 550 to 750. So I thought the Signal Flare was only 500 though. I could be wrong about that, but I think it's going to be a $250 change, not just a $200 change. And if you think about it, when you get like something like a Monkey Village to give everything camo detection, you're paying like $2,000. The Mortar is almost the same thing as that because it gives you pretty much infinite camo detection within reason for the lowly price of $550. So finally raising it to at least $750. Not game breaking or anything like that, but it does make it a little bit more expensive to buy it on round 11 and 12. Just a little bit. You should have enough money for that by then anyways. But it makes it so you can't just spam like 4 different upgrades right at the very end of round 11 just to get that camo detection. It's going to be a little bit more pricey now. Artillery battery increase. Oh wow, I actually was not expecting that either. Sort of interesting. From 7,000 to 8,000. Okay, not a crazy change, but alright. So, and then Ninja Kiwi says the Ninja Mortar strategy is still an extremely popular and is still extremely popular in the current meta, and we're seeing it a lot in the higher arenas. We've bumped up a couple of upgrade costs to hopefully encourage players to explore other options, whilst, I like that, whilst still keeping the mortar a solid tower. So, makes absolute sense, man. We've got to keep the mortar a solid tower. Moving on to the Sniper Monkey. Interesting changes here, guys. Overall attack speed increased by 10%. So this is going to affect all the way down to a 0-0 sniper here, guys. This is pretty intense. And now when we talk about getting the speed increase over here, for the higher level snipers, I mean, this is going to be really, really interesting. Getting them up to 2, at least just faster shooting, and then getting them all the way up to like 2-3. I mean, can you imagine the amount of attack speed increase this is actually going to help us out? And then here's another interesting one. So when I first read this, I thought that it was going to be the ability speed increasing by 33%, but that is not true. It's the attack speed increased by 33%. So Ninja Kiwi said we've buffed the sniper's overall attack speed as well as its 0-4 attack speed in the hope that we see it out on the battlefield more often and make it more worthy of one of your 3 tower slots. So this is the main reason why nobody plays with sniper. Is it worth it to actually pick as one of your main 3 towers? Not really. He's sort of difficult to use. He's like sort of weak around 12 and 13, just kind of expensive as well. So these changes might make him more worth it to get, but I still don't think he's going to be part of the meta or just amazing or anything like that anytime soon. But I would love to test him out and see if I can make some viable strategies with him. Mix him up with a couple boomerangs or something. I think we're going to be good. Alright, Ice Tower. So, this is sort of a crazy change as well. Something sort of unexpected, but it sort of makes sense. Nobody uses the Ice Towers these days unless you're planning on going super duper late game for the 2-4 ability. So let's talk about the ability first. This makes sense. The price increase from 2,000 to 3,500. If you guys know anything about the Ice Tower, you know that the reason why he's kind of good is because you can slow down all the balloons on the screen by 50% for a long time. I think until they die or until they pop to the next layer. So especially against Zomagods and things last forever. Last even longer than the Ninja ability if you wanted to. So unless I'm wrong about that, it's a really, really powerful upgrade against really high tier balloons, especially late in the game. And for a ridiculously low price of $2,000, you just couldn't beat that slowdown. Now, as far as the left side goes, we never, ever, ever use the left-sided Ice Tower. I don't think I've ever seen an Arctic Wind in, like, a year of playing battles. Like, nobody uses it. Like, maybe every once in a while you'll see it in, like, a crazy, stupid game where somebody's just a stupid noob or something like that. But nobody uses the Ice Tower at all. It's mainly because the Arctic Wind is just really freaking expensive. You know, and it's not even that good. It doesn't pop infinite balloons. If the Arctic Wind could pop infinite balloons, or almost infinite balloons, I would get him, but it can't. So this is going to be kind of crazy, man. Now it can pop white and zebra balloons, but without a price change of the Arctic Wind, we're still talking about upwards of almost, what, $12,000 just to get a 4-0 Viral Frost up. So I severely doubt that anybody's going to end up getting these Viral Frosts, because there's just other better things to pop the balloons. Nobody needs that much balloon popping power for that amount of money. So probably going to stay away from that, but it's a buff. I'll take it, right? So it's the tale of two halves for the Ice Tower. We very rarely see the first path upgraded to the max, and this is likely down to the fact that it's not really worth the cost. Allowing Viral Frost to pop white and zebra balloons should help with that. On the flip side, ooh, I like that, Absolute Zero is currently too easy to sell and rebuy to infinitely slow down the balloons, which can render a costly rush useless. We've bumped up the price to help counter that. Again, I'm just going to reiterate, I just don't think we're going to be seeing this all that often. It's a good change to the game, but Ice Tower probably still needs to be buffed again, sadly. Buffed and nerfed at the same time, you know, just different upgrades do different things. Glue Gunner. So, everybody knows Glue Gunner, people still hate it. People don't use it. But now I'm thinking like, oh man, with these buffs here, I could actually think about using this guy in a more effective way. So Glue Striker, price decreased from 4,000 to 2,500. So this is going to help a lot on those random trio games, guys. When you got big full-out camo pink rushes coming out against each other, like Bams for frickin' Zam, that's kind of a nice upgrade. Beyond that, though, we might be seeing the Glue Gunner used a little bit more often, kind of like a Blade Maelstrom, where you just throw out this Glue Striker ability to stop all of the big regen Rainbow Rushes or big Zebra Rushes or something that people are going to send out against you, because it's really not that expensive anymore to pop this guy in there for basically infinite balloon popping power. And I say that with a slight grain of salt, because it's really not infinite balloon popping power, but with your current towers on top of the Glue Striker, you should be able to take them down pretty easily. So another change though, Balloon Liquefier, splatter radius increased by 25%, and Pierce increased from 6 to 10. I don't think this is going to get used all that often still, it's just too darn expensive. Nobody needs that much balloon popping power for that amount of price, so probably not going to use it. I don't think anybody's going to use it, but what you going to do? What Ninja Kiwi has to say about it is we've dropped the price of the Glue Striker ability and made the Balloon Liquefier upgrade significantly more powerful to hopefully make it a more viable tower choice. Sure, I guess, probably. Not going to change the Glue Gunner all that much, but it makes him more interesting. Cobra. Okay, so this is a hot topic of discussion right here. I was going to say disgusting, because that's what I feel like. The Cobra is disgusting. Overall attack speed decreased by 10%. Okay. So this is going to make him not terrible, but slightly worse when you spam him in the early game. He's not going to be able to take down those pinks and blacks quite so easily, though it's for 10% difference, it's not going to change the game all that much. He's still going to be kind of the same thing. But maybe it'll make him just a little bit harder to use in the early game, because I really haven't seen him in the early game all that often lately. Now, misdirection here. Now, this is something that I've been debating for a while. I still think the misdirection is too powerful. Before we get to talking about all this misdirection stuff, I just want to mention this really quick. When you think about insta-killing a BFB, what towers can insta-kill a BFB? Well, for example, the cheapest one that I can think of is a Buccaneer. Alright, you gotta buy a 2-4 Buccaneer. And we're talking about, I don't know, what, just $4,500 for that last upgrade to insta-kill a BFB. And all you're doing is insta-killing, just getting it rid of the board, getting it off the board. A misdirection can take that BFB, insta-kill it off of your side, send it to your opponent's side, and then they still have to deal with the BFB. More balloons. You know, I mean, when I think about it like that, I'm like, holy crap. That just, you know, for cheaper. How can you make something be cheaper and get rid of it off your screen and send it to your opponent? I just feel like it's just a little bit too pricey. I understand that it is the Cobra and it is a different tower, and you can't just compare these guys from nowhere, but at the same time, it still feels a little bit too overpowered to me. So, they did end up nerfing it a little bit. The cooldown increased from 10 seconds to 20 seconds. So it's going to make it so if you see a BFB pop on the screen, you can't just say, oh crap, I'm going to upgrade it, and just wait until you can send it back to your opponent. This is going to make it so maybe it'll pop down in Moabs, maybe it'll do some problem, maybe it'll have some issues in here. So it's going to be a little bit more difficult to kind of spam this ability for the late game. But at the same time, if you already have a couple of them, it's still going to be the exact same freaking thing. So, what Ninja Kiwi has to say is, we think it's close to being right, but might be just a little too powerful. A decrease in attack speed should mean it'll require support towers to hold off the early round rushes. That makes sense, making it more difficult to spam. Exactly right. But we've also doubled the initial cooldown of the misdirection ability, as it's too valuable at the moment. I still think, even after this nerf, it's still too valuable, but that's my opinion. Again, let me know what you guys think about these things. Banana Farm! Who would have thought Banana Farms would get a frickin' buff up in here? What? For reals? Okay, so the Banana Republic. Bananas per round increased from 13 to 15. Oh my god. Now this is an interesting change. Okay, so this has been like this as far as I can remember since BT5 came out. It's been like that. So to change this is absolutely crazy, to be completely honest with you guys. But all they're really doing is that, you know, everybody knows to spam 2-0 Banana Farms. They're the most effective Banana Farm. I have not done the math yet, but I will do the math for you guys in the next video where I talk about the Banana Farm. Up to 15 now. So if I had to do really quick math, I don't know. Yeah, I can't do the math right now. I think it's... I can't do the math right now, guys. I don't know how many bananas come out of a 2-0. That's my problem. I think it's 6. If it's 6 times 60, that's $360. 6 times 15, or 15 times 60 is... crap. 60, 30, 900. So 360 to 900, but I can't math that out, you know, the price difference between these guys. So it's going to be really interesting and sort of close now, which one is actually better. But people, you might see a lot more 3-0 Banana Republics, people saving up money instead of just spamming all these low-level banana farms. And it makes sense. We want to make the Banana Republic a little bit more cost-effective, so this should make it worth its investment. And that makes sense. Okay, Super Monkey. Alright, again, another sort of interesting change. Nobody plays with Super Monkeys. They're sort of a late game tower, and that makes sense. But now they're trying to make them so they're a little bit more useful in the early game if you do decide to pick them. Still not useful, but more useful. And that's the key word here, guys, more. So price decreased from $3,500 to $3,000. So this has been... the 0-0 Super Monkey, everybody knows he's not that good. You know, it's like 10 Super Monkeys is better, or 10 Dart Monkeys is better than a Super Monkey. So why would you you wouldn't buy him? So, this is going to be sort of an interesting change. Still probably won't see him all that much in low-level games, but at least he's useful now if you just pop down a Super Monkey randomly. Price decrease. Okay, this is cool, man. Super range. So we're going from 1,800 to not Game Breaker, but makes it a little cheaper. Epic range, 1,500 to 1,200. So again, not a Game Breaker, but just a slight buff. Now, the only issue with this range thing is that it is going to make the Robo Monkey cheaper. Alright, so we're talking about 500, 600, 700, about $1,000 cheaper than he already is, because all of these, you know, upgrades you need to buy the Robo Monkey. So going for 0-3 Robo Monkeys might actually be a pretty darn effective way to defend a lot of these balloons, and then just slowly get them up to Plasma when you have the money for it. So it's awesome, powerful, and super, but it's very rarely used out with. Is that I've never seen that used together, but maybe it actually is meaning what I think it means. Without. I think it means with. I think they're saying without. Very rarely used without Bonanza Mega Boost game modes. So we've decreased some prices to hopefully make it more viable without the special club rules. Makes sense. It's exactly what I expect to see. Alright, and then the Dartling Guns. We actually got Dartling Gun, Helipilot, and Monkey Engineer, and Spike Factory all left to talk about. So, Dartling Gun. Okay, 0-4 Balloon Denial. Decrease from 20 to 16. So we got a little bit of a buff here. It's cool. Doesn't really matter. Just going to make it so we might end up using him 1 out of every 5,000 games. Oh my god, Helipilot. Ooh, baby, I've been talking about this Helipilot for a long time. Because I love him as a tower. I think he's really fun, interesting, very fair as far as the left side is concerned. But the right side, meh. Absolutely meh. So what they're doing here is they're making the 2-0 Pursuit decrease from 500 to 350, so that actually makes a lot of sense, because Pursuit, it's a good upgrade, don't get me wrong, but it can be stupid as well. It can sometimes be harmful to you. So a lot of times it's better just lock them in place, or put them on like a random just go back and forth between these two areas type of deal. So this is going to be kind of cool, man. Makes so the Pursuit is something that you can buy just to get to the next. It's usually just you buy it to get to the next upgrades, right? Now it's not the case anymore. You can actually use him for a fairly cheap bit of bonus over here. Razor Rotors. Ooh, this is another interesting one. Now, if you guys know this or not, but Razor Rotors got buffed recently, and now it's getting buffed again. Now, this is going to be interesting. Down from $17.50 to $12.50. So we're talking about $150 deficit there, and then another $500 here, $650 cheaper to get the Razor Rotors. Now, this also means that the 4-0 Helipilot is going to be that amount of money cheaper as well. So it's going to be a little bit easier to get that 4-0 Helipilot. I think it's going to be a pretty good tower these days. I'm actually thinking about using this guy in a lot of my strategies. And then, oh man, I've been asking for this forever. 0-3 downdraft price decreased from $2,500 to $1,750. I actually think that Ninja Kiwi took my advice here and actually did this for me. So thank you, Ninja Kiwi. I told them that I specifically wanted to see the Helipilot changes. Most specifically, the downdraft change. And this was the one that they actually took from me here. I'll talk about that in a second, but they actually not stole this, but this is exactly what I asked for, and I'm really glad that they did this, so thank you, Ninja Kiwi. Downdraft price. Yeah, I mean, $2,500 was frickin' ridiculous. How often did you see the downdraft? Never? I know. $1,750. Still, probably kind of ridiculous. It's not that good of an upgrade, but at the same time, now I can see myself maybe checking it out at least, seeing how good it's going to be right around, round 18. Now, if you got this guy for Moab popping power, you pop the Moab and then you downdraft all the ceramics back to the front. That seems pretty cool to me, If that's what you're going to use him for, that's pretty awesome. And then this is pretty interesting as well. Whoa! Price decreased from $15,000 to $7,500. One of the biggest changes that has ever happened in Bloons TD battles, right here. Half the frickin' price. Whoa. Crazy talk. And on top of that, he's getting buffed again. Downdraft effect pushes back twice as many balloons. So holy crap, guys. For real. This might be an actual good tower to use. I know it's going from being like never ever ever used except if you're doing crazy stuff to now actually being like a freaking decent tower maybe. He's still $7,500, don't get me wrong, but he can still give you money, give you lives, and actually send back balloons back to the beginning while also still doing a little bit of damage, He's going to be he's still going to be a support Chinook. That's the thing. He's going to be a support tower. But at least he has the ability to do other things besides just give you a little bit of lives here and there. Alright, because everybody knows you don't use him for money either. The money is just so small, it just doesn't matter. Alright. So what they say is much like the Super Monkey, the Helipilot isn't often seen outside of certain club rule sets. Yeah, I'd say that. We've dropped a bunch of upgrade prices to make it more accessible in normal game modes, as well as doubled the downdraft effect when you upgrade to a 0-4. So thank you. That was my idea, and at least I think they took it from me, and I'm really glad that they did it. When I say took it, I mean I'm happy that they took it. So, not like stole it, just like took it. Gave it. Whatever. Alright, we're down to the last two towers in here. Hopefully this was a in-depth understanding of the changes so far. Monkey Engineer. Well, this makes sense. The larger surface area was complete BS. Nobody liked it. It was actually a negative effect to the engineer. You want a tight area of where the sentry guns are, not a wide area. So, price decrease from $650 to $500. I wouldn't even mind changing it down to $0 because it's a negative. Maybe you'll gain money. Make it a negative $100 price. So, like, if I upgrade that guy, I'll get a negative $100. I would take that. I would do it for sure. Yeah, because it sucks. It's terrible. Well, you can change, just change it down to nothing, or $100 or $1. Make it $1 and we're good. Cleansing foam price. Ooh, all right. So this actually doesn't matter all that much for regular games, because not very many people use him as your actual regen, popping power, or camo detection. But in random trios and things of that nature, you kind of rely on cleansing foam sometimes. So this might actually make it so the random trios cleansing foam is a little bit better. We think the engineer is pretty balanced overall, but we've tweaked a couple of prices to bring them more in line with the power of the upgrade. Yeah, I mean, nobody... What even is a 0-3 engineer? I don't even... That's the... I don't even know what a 0-3 engineer is, because nobody gets it. Is it sprockets or some crap? Don't even know. Alright, Spike Factory. 0-0 Spike Factory. Price decrease from 700 to 600. Ooh, kind of cool. Ooh. Price decrease from 700 to 550. Price decrease from 600 to 500. Fast production line, price decrease from 700 to 600. Oh my god, 0-2, even fast production, 1150 to 900. Whoa! We'd like to make the Spike Factory a more viable option, so we've dropped a bunch of prices across the board to help with that. Again, I'm pretty sure this was at least partially my idea. I was just telling him, like, Spike Factory, what are you going to do with this guy? Like, yeah, the third tiers are, like, okay to use, and the fourth tier is, like, okay. But realistically, what we're trying to use Spike Factory, we don't just want a third tier or fourth tier. We want to use them, kind of all across the game. And this might help us actually use them. They're not going to be overpowered now, but they're going to be more fair to use on levels with kind of longer levels, with only, one exit where the naturals and the scent balloons come out of one direction and all lead into one area. This is where the Spike Factory is actually going to be useful now. So, don't forget that when you think about all of these upgrades here, making all of these guys cheaper means that the third tiers and the fourth tiers will also be cheaper as well, just because these are lower, You're not actually changing the fourth tier price itself, but to get there, it's going to cost less money. Alright, so, thank you for the map changes as well. I'm actually really happy about this. I think this was more of Bruno and Lockie's doing, so thank you, Bruno and Lockie, for making sure the maps get all set up and are good. I'm pretty sure Bruno was the one that was talking specifically about indoor pools and how terrible it is to place things in between the paths above and below the middle balloon path. So, now it's a little bit easier to place those towers in there. That's pretty freaking sweet. So now we can actually fit things in there. Probably not like heli pilots or dartling guns or anything. Probably not even super monkeys. But at the very least, now it's not going to be a struggle to like wiggle in the exact pixel you need to put your engineer in or something like that. Wizard's Keep also got increased placement area inside and outside the main platform's path. Okay. I don't play that map all that often, so I really don't know the problem with that, but it makes sense. Patch decreased potential farm placement zones on the left side to... Oh, okay. Okay, so now we're just making it even. I was like, decreasing potential farm placement zones? What are we talking about? I was thinking like the middle of the map was going to be like blocked off or something. I'm like, no! But, okay, that's fine. Battle River increased potential farm placement zone on the right side to match the left side. Okay, again, pretty cool. At least we're matching it up. That's good. And then here we go. All balance changes will go live when the 4.6 update is released. As always, your thoughts and your feedback are welcome in the comments below. Happy gaming. So, let's see. Most people are actually pretty happy about these things. They're like, yay, 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 blah, blah, awesome, this is good, except for this guy. He says, is this a joke? This literally changes nothing. I don't know what you're talking about, but you're stupid. So, that's all I'm going to have for you guys today. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you press that like button. Again, I would love to see what you guys think about this. If you think that this is terrible changes, or you think this is good changes, let me know what you think. And then also, tell me what changes we still need to make the game fairer. I always want to make the game better. I still think we're getting there. I think the game is pretty fair at this point. Still a couple towers that I wouldn't mind buffing, but at this point I'm actually pretty happy with how things are going. So if you guys enjoyed, press that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and have a super duper delicious day.